All right, top of the agenda. Welcome, Kunal.
I actually just apologies for putting in last moment, so probably you all might have not seen, but it's not. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys remember this. We, as a part of persistent notification, we had this issue where if the broker is down for some reason, or we some rogue user just configures the wrong broker address and it turns on persistent notifications. By default, the notification queue keeps going, and those events stay there forever. So we, as a part of to address this issue, we added two variables: time to live and max retries, which by default are always set to 0, which means that they will stay forever. But we also added a provision where these values could be set as part of create topic. I'm not quite sure at this point in time. I'm trying to think, why did we add this, or probably give the end users or the end clients this um, this feature for themselves to set, because if the user sends these values, it overrides the values which is set by the admin. So I was kind of curious, can we mask this behind the conf flag, or I mean, is there any reason? Also, like these attributes currently are not kind of AWS compatible, like, so because we send them as an attribute as a part of create topic. So can we mask them under a flag and still have the admin values as a higher preference as compared to these, based on a, based on that mask, the based on the conference value or something, is what I was trying to propose basically.
Yeah, I wish Yuval was here to weigh in.
Mm,
I in general agree. I wish that we just used AWS APIs for this, where they have, you know, topic metadata, and then they have separate subscriptions, which is what says what the endpoint is, etc.
right.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
I
I mean,
could
so
ask him on Slack as well, but I wanted just to get a normal opinion here. Like, does it make sense? Because these attributes are not kind of compliant to AWS. So these are like kind of extra attributes that we as in Ceph is providing. So do we want to provide them? And if we want to provide them, can we hide them under a flag? Like, even if the flag is true, then those values would be allowed to override the default admin values. And if it is set to false, then probably, even though a user tries to send it, but it won't be honored.
yeah, maybe. Um, so I mean, these options are related to um, like with the default values, the persistent notifications are essentially reliable, like 100% reliable. We'll keep retrying until it succeeds.
That's
But
right. Yeah.
if you configure those, then you no longer have that guarantee. So I guess I'm not sure whether that should be a user decision or a cluster-wide admin decision.
Hmm. So you're saying it still should be user decision, or it should be? I mean, it's exactly. I mean, who should have the preference on this decision? Where the time to live should be for these persistent. I mean, by design, we always want them to try forever. That's what the whole idea is. The persistent notification.
Yeah, I think that's the question. I just don't know the right answer. So maybe supporting both modes behind a config option is the right choice.
Yeah. So this basically decides, like, if the storage admin allows the user to configure, then yeah, makes sense. If the storage admin doesn't allow, then it's on to storage admin to decide what the value is, right?
Yeah, and ideally I would want to figure out exactly what this looks like in Amazon. I guess they don't really ever guarantee reliable notifications.
At all, exactly. So for
Yeah,
them, they do not have this concept of persistent and non-persistent. So they say like it's a kind of best effort to try to reach out to notification. From what I know, as part of our history of Ceph notification, we started with async notification, and then eventually it wasn't reliable. So people wanted more reliability, and that's when we decided to support the persistent notification. I guess.
right. So yeah, I support your idea. Would you be willing to kind of type up a full design for it? And I
Yep,
guess
sure.
we can
I,
discuss that with Yuval.
Sure, I'll create a tracker, put in all the information, and yep. I mean, it's pretty kind of trivial to be honest. Like, yeah, just have a conf file. What the idea would be, RGW conf variable, and then based on that variable, you can either set it to you whether the admins overrides or doesn't override, like whether the user overrides the value or doesn't override the value. I'll put that up in the tracker. Yeah,
Sounds great. Thanks.
thank you.
Any other thoughts on this one? All right, next on the agenda is from me. I'm just sharing something that I heard in the leadership call earlier today. We were planning to do the code freeze for Squid basically today, the end of January, but there was a consensus to bump it a week. Sounds like other components have things that should be ready by then. RGW, I think, has a lot of things that we want to make but aren't ready. But all that the code freeze means is that we'll fork a Squid branch. And so things that we want on Squid will have to be backported to that branch after merging to main. That would be after it forks next week. So I still plan to take several things like the checksum stuff that Matt's working on, the sync of topic metadata that Krunal and Yuval and Ali are working on. Hey, Matt.
Just apropos what you're just saying, what do you think what does the group think that the ultimate window is to get things the backporting process? When is the next sort of block point, or I don't know, milestone point, meet point, where everything has to be in for Squid?
I think that's still really fuzzy. In the validation process for new releases generally takes months. So I would expect 2 or 3 months, but it's hard to say. For Reef, I think it ended up taking longer than that.
Okay, got it.
With respect to the Brunel, your work on topics, we've kind of got work spread over 3 branches right now, 3 different PRs. But once the Squid branch forks, I'd like to start merging stuff onto main, and we can continue work there. And then once everything is ready to ship, then we can backport it all in full to the Squid branch.
When you say 3 branches, one is mine, one is what Ali is working on. The third one is your meta topic. Yeah, like your
Exactly, yeah.
okay. So also we are waiting on the Neo Rados change so that we have the site config now in available at the Git admin level as well. So that's one change that my PR is waiting upon.
Oh yeah, that one did merge last week, I think.
Oh, it did. Okay.
So, right, so the store should have access to the site config and
Okay, cool.
admin as well.
So then that was the piece pending on my end. So let me then kind of rebase my branch, get those changes, and then have a way to enable the flag only once all these own groups are agreed onto that, basically.
Great.
So that will be the last part on my PR, I believe, right? At least for now.
Yes. Uh-huh. I think
So,
everything else is up to the migration stuff. That might end up changing the logic in some of yours, but I think we'll
right.
have to figure that out.
Yep. So then there is no stopping my PR to getting merged into the main, so that we don't have to do a backport for at least this guy. Mine and yours at least, both.
Well, what I wanted to avoid was
Okay.
merging things into the squid release
Got
before
it.
we were sure that everything was going to work. So I
Makes
would still
sense.
like to keep them out of the squid branch until we have
The,
everything.
sure, makes sense.
But yeah, once we fork the squid branch, we can start merging things to main at least.
Good.
Okay, that's all that's on the agenda so far. Anybody else want to raise something for discussion? Okay. Thanks, everyone. See ya.